Steve Abbott. Alan Arps. Victor Bills. Greg Moline. Steve Benucci. Dick Christensen. Fred Didier. Mike DeHaan. Ricky Ellis. Little Hop. Just kidding. Kurt Hammeister. Greg Hofstetter. Greg Huxtable. And here, representing Don Johnston, his wife, Kathy.
Yay! That was me. I gotta hit something.
No. Can you just go down just a little bit? We've got, you can see how close they are, 40 years, and they're still lining it up. Paul Lehman. Willie Mabry. John Martin. John McNutt. Jack Napoli. David Rome. Joe Schroeder. Daryl Smith. Brett Vensey. Joe Viella. Steve Ziegler. Steve Zimmerman. And head coach Ray Haley.
We missed Tom Plate? Tom Plate.
And Mr. Tom Plate. Yes, we did. Thank you. Okay.
I'll come up. Yeah. Love you, Coach. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for everything.
And now I'd like to ask Fred Didier to come and say a few words about your team. Well done, men.
with co-captain Tom Plate, and we couldn't be more thankful for this award and recognition for our team. We were hanging out last night and just reminiscing at Nick's Pizza, and I can't believe I have the courage to do this, but there's a song that we kind of liked, and I've never sung in public before, so here goes. I said a hip, hop, a hibbit to the hibbit, a hip, hip, a hoppy, you don't stop, we're rocking to the bang, bang, a boogie, say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat. That song goes for 20 minutes, and I know the whole 20 minutes. So, no explicit lyrics either. So, anyway, Jennifer, thank you, and all those things you said. It was such a treasure to be a part of this team and to win game after game and have the community behind us. As she mentioned, we went 9-0 during the regular season. I'm going to keep this short. I mean, a couple of memories. Real dramatic win over at West Aurora. Tie game overtime. And Ricky and I were reminiscing about, it was overtime, and the other team had scored first. And, you know, you're on the 10-yard line, and the first play, somehow between Ricky and I bobbled the ball, we bobbled the ball, but it bounced right back up to him. And he fought through 3 tacklers down to the 1-yard line, and eventually scored a touchdown, and Steve Van Buren kicked the kick for a win at that game. So at that point, I think we were 4-0, as I recall. Now, I'm happy to give the mic to Tom, but he told me don't give him the mic. That's the way he is. He's called The Rock for a reason. I made a mistake and tried to wrestling him once. Anyway, another memorable game. This is the only game the whole regular season that we were behind at halftime was against Lake Park. And I think we were thinking we were a little kind of hot stuff at that point. We beat St. Charles and you know, the Glenbards and everyone. And we came back the second half though and scored 35 unanswered points. Defense stiffened up, and it was a memorable victory. Let's see. The conference championship, we secured that with the 8th game being 8-0 against DeKalb, and that was really kind of our main goal. We all of us wanted to be on the board. They took pictures of teams that won the conference, and so our dream was to be have a picture taken of us at one time, and that achieved that. But we had business we needed to do, and that was we had one more game. And it really didn't matter in terms of the conference or playoffs. We had already determined those things, but the last game was Elgin. And the year before, Elgin beat us 22-0, and that kept us from winning conference and going into the playoffs. And so we were able to take it to them pretty good. I think it was 36-6 or something like that. But one of the memories that I had is once we were 6-0 in the front of the school, see if you guys remember this, they painted the number 6-0, Royal 6-0. And then we would play another game, 7-0. And it was so fun to come on the bus Monday morning and just see it go to 8-0, 9-0. And then came the playoffs. And our first playoff game, Jennifer mentioned, was against East Leyden. And they were 9-0, we were 9-0. They had an option offense, running offense, power game, and they had won the state championship the year before, and that's 5A. That's when 5A was the largest division. Everyone, I called the newspaper, I wanted to find out who we were going to play, and they told, they have to play this. They didn't know it was me, the player on the team calling. It's like, oh, this is a disaster, we're playing East Leyden. I'm like, okay. So they had like 2 touchdowns scored against them the whole year, and we took the opening kickoff, and I was thankful for the coaches on that opening drive. If you remember, we went for it on 4th down, and it was like midfield, and we went and scored and beat them. Our defense, it's a healthy rivalry here. It wasn't like Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka, but they held East Leyden, a 9-0 team, to 1 touchdown on that game, the first one. The atmosphere at Memorial Field is unlike anything that I've ever been a part of. It was filled to overflowing, and the support, you just feel it, you know, as players. And it was just a very, very memorable game. We went on to play Moline, and so at this point, the school, I'm going on my bus, hey, 10-0, you know, in front of the school, and I'm like, this is great. So this next game, Moline, quarterfinals, and real battle. These guys could hit, but we prevailed, 16-14, and that brought us to 11-0. And of course, our next opponent was East St. Louis, who had previously that week beat the #1 team in the state 36-0. I'm pretty sure it was right about that, Richards, at the time. And so we knew this was going to be a challenge. We were playing away at East St. Louis, and when the playoffs began, one of the things that was a factor for us is we lost one of Haley's Comets. That's what they called the running backs. And Ricky had messed up his knee, and so we were kind of wounded warriors, and Alan Arps was hurt. And you know, people filled in though. We went down there, battled, we lost. It was 21-15. So our only loss of the year was by 6 points to the team that eventually won the 5A state championship. And so we're proud of that and excited to be recognized here. There's a tradition, I don't know, we're going to try to do this, all right, that we would always do before the game. Let me see if you guys remember it all. What's one of the things that we would do just before we left the locker room to go? Do you guys remember? Here, I'm going to come down here. I want you guys, and Coach Haley, he's got to come here. We're going to have to kind of squeeze together. You guys have to come all here. There was a little prayer we would say. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember the little prayer Coach Haley would give me? Coach Haley, you come here in the middle, and we need you guys to gather around. This is pregame right now. We're going to go out and play East St. Louis again. So. So it was a little tradition, and early in the first game, Coach Haley handed me this little prayer that we would say as a team. And I would read it to everyone, and then we would, yeah, and then we would kind of go out. And by the time we got to the East St. Louis game, I didn't need them to give me that little sheet. I had it memorized. And the fact is, I've used that prayer for teams that I've coached since then. And so this is like sort of the last hurrah for us. So here's let's all gather together here. All right. In conclusion, dear Lord, as we huddle here, help us all to see it clear that playing hard and playing fair is what we're striving for everywhere. And as we go forth to play the game, in sport and life, it's all the same. We want to win like all the rest, but Lord help us to do our best. Amen.